What's going on, Spitfires? Welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren LeMunyan, the Spitfire Coach, and I hope that you are starting 2025 with some energy, with some focus. Hopefully you're warm. I am freezing my tuchus off here in the Washington, D.C. area. We just got snow, and it's like very cold. It's not sub-zero. I'm being very dramatic right now. And I apologize in advance because apparently this is when my whole house is under construction with HVAC and lentils getting repaired and everything else. But you know what? I was inspired to record. So here we are. We're going to power through and we're going to be merry. I actually just got off of a catch-up call with another coach and reminded me of this amazing new concept. I'm not taking credit for it all, but I want to just kind of like put it out into the ethers even more. I want to amplify it because I think that going into this year, going into this new administration, going into all the changes that we are about to experience, whether we're part of them, whether we're on the receiving end, I want to just like plant this seed here and really like inspire you to go learn more and listen more about this. So Mel Robbins is the author creator of this. I have no part in it. I'm not taking any license on it. So this is all based on a podcast that I heard her do on We Can Do Hard Things with Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach. And they call her sister, but I'm like, what is her name? What is Glennon Doyle's sister's name? But the whole concept that Mel Robbins put out there, I think is so important right now because I keep seeing people getting so worked up, so freaking angry, so frustrated with people. I am on this Facebook group called Nova Moms. And if you've ever been like on a Nextdoor, like this is what it would be if only moms were talking smack. The craziest stuff. And the thing that happens is people post anonymously and they're literally like putting out all of the drama in the world. They have no problem like criticizing people. And I just kind of sit back and I'm like, wow, like that's a lot of opinion and judgment. And that can't feel good, but I'm just not going to participate or engage because you know what undoubtedly happens is as soon as you comment on it, you get the pile-on effect. There's just nothing good that happens from it. So that made me think of this even more because we need to have so many tools in our back pocket for 2025. Like whatever you thought you needed last year, like 10x it. And like whatever you did that worked in your self-care practice and your maintenance practice, like you need to do it that much more throughout the day. You need to have the space to decompress and everything else. And so the concept that Mel Robbins put out there was called let them. And this isn't about like letting people walk all over you. It's not about letting people disrespect you. What it's about is letting people be who they are. Letting people like experience life without you trying to control it. And this is really hard because we all have expectations and agendas based on how we want things to go. It's just kind of our makeup. In fact, as human beings, we are all striving for control. So what do you think happens when you have two or more entities that are all wanting control that aren't aligned in how they think? You think that's going to work out? No, it's literally a collision course each time because I'm trying to take away your autonomy. I'm trying to take away your ability to control a situation. And if we felt like someone was doing that to us, we wouldn't go for it. We would be like, yo, back on up, get off my lawn. And so we are literally putting that energy out when we don't like what someone else is doing. Now, that's not to say that you have to just be okay with other people putting hate into the world and causing harm. No, the second part of this is let them and let me. So let me decide what works for me. And so there is a portion of accountability, of ownership of our own actions that I don't think a lot of people take. We point the finger, and I am so guilty of this. We point the finger at other people for our discomfort, for our unhappiness, for our misery, for whatever it is. It's so easy for us to point out and blame them of you made me feel this way. And the reality is, if you don't want to feel that way, what are you doing about it? Where are you engaging in standoff conversations that you have no business engaging in? Where are you leading with judgment? Where are you overstaying your welcome? Where are you overstaying, like, ever being there? And so that's the question is, what is the choice that I really want to make for me? And this also made me think of the conversation that they had with Sarah Bareilles, where she said that anxiety is choosing to have an internal conflict over the actual external conflict, which is usually about a boundary violation. And so this isn't about people wronging you and needing to make it right. This is about you up-leveling how you exist. How do you want to model what you want to experience in the world? Because we're doing this very like bystander, passenger of like, please create this ultimate environment where I'm super comfortable and life is good, which would be great, but that is clearly not how the world is or will work. So the question is, how do you find that little bit of peace? Is it about stepping away? Is it about taking a breath before responding? Is it about asking a curious question versus a loaded, judged, close-ended yes or no question? Is it about being really cognizant of your facial expressions? Is it about smiling more so that you don't just riff off? And I'm literally just saying the things that I need to do for myself because I can totally come off super judgy and direct, as I found out over Christmas. Yep, that happened. So we need to really take ownership. And when I say we, I am absolutely woven into that. We all are. We have to see what is it that we want to create and how can I create that environment first for myself? And then how do I show it for other people? Because the crazy good thing that happens is that sometimes when people are ready to change, when you can actually be open and create a space where people can be themselves, they actually feel safer to do that. They're not defensive and doubling and tripling down. Because never in the history of time have I ever seen anyone change their mind because you've told them that the way that they are is wrong or dumb. It just doesn't happen. So this works really well with kids. My kid's not talking yet or walking yet, but best believe I'm going to be using this of how do I create a nice calm space where she can be her and help plant those seeds and model the behavior to help move her forward. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that we can practice more of letting people be and also letting ourselves choose what we need and moving that forward and not relying on other people to make us feel a certain way, because the reality is we get to choose what we think, what we do, how we respond. That's not up to anybody else. And as soon as you can take ownership of that, it's pretty amazing what can start to unfold and roll out in your own life. So definitely check out Mel Robbins' stuff, all about, let them be. Check out the episode on the We Can Do Hard Things podcast. Super good. Just want to pump that up because it's amazing. I love how they just kind of put themselves out there like, yeah, I'm a control freak and that's just how I am, and crap, this is hard. Because it's so freaking hard. But once you can kind of just ride the wave of letting people be who they are, it actually allows you to feel more comfortable in your own skin. It's pretty amazing. So hope that was helpful. This is the first podcast in 2025. We'll be coming back at you every week with new topics. Hopefully we'll get some fun guests. We'll see what happens. And y'all keep being awesome.